Howdy ho there. So if you can come on down to your knees here, I'm going to show you the side view. You can curl the toes under if you want, and you're going to bring your right forearm onto the ground. And we're going to release the forearm because the forearm can hold a shit ton of tension. And this is one of the other reasons behind wrist pain and posterior neck pain. We're going to use our left forearm here and the ulna. I always confuse the ulna with the radius. I believe this is the ulna. And we're going to use it kind of as a violin bow. And I've got my trusty shea butter here. You can use a little bit of water if you don't have any raw shea butter. And I'm going to decide how much pressure I want to give by using my toes here. And I can bring my whole body into this if I want. I'm going to relax my left hand, and I'm going to relax my shoulders a little bit. And then super slowly, because if you go fast, the central nervous system will guard, and then you'll create more tension. The more relaxed you are, and the willingness to let go, the more this forearm will open up. And I don't know if you noticed this, but I'm going as slow as a snail, even slower than a snail. And you know what a snail is without a shell? A slug, slugging along. And I'm just bringing this forearm down. Oh, and welcome to Holistic Movement with me, episode, I think it's 43. And today we're going to do this, release the forearm for you wrist pain sufferers and neck pain sufferers. Then we're going to do some abdominal core work, and then we're going to do another back bend. So stay tuned. But I love this position. My forearms get really tight because I work on people all day and use my forearms and my hands and my fingers to release tension. And so I really need to release this almost every day. Then when you get down to the wrist, be super careful because there are not as many muscles, and you want to be careful of the carpal tunnel there. If you have any carpal tunnel symptoms, this is a great position to do. And did you know, I don't know if you can see this, but my right hand on the floor is opening and closing to get circulation going and to get that connective tissue and muscular tissue moving. Yep, let's go again. So let's use that form. I usually wait and rest a little bit, let that form rest, but I'm in a hurry today as a snail. No, I'm not. So just opening and closing that hand. Yeah, and now I found a part that's really tensionful. So I'm just going to stop there and I'm going to breathe into it and try to let this forearm on the floor fall into the floor. So let's say on a pain scale it's about an 8. See if you can bring it down to about a 5. And of course, I've emphasized this in other episodes before. Anytime that you want to pause the video and spend more time on this, please do. Yeah. It's kind of like you're squeezing a toothpaste tube. And I'm just pushing this. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's a spot. Woo! Whoopee! As my grandfather used to say. Whoopee! Oh, man. Whoa, yes. Whew. Let's line our backs. And then let's rest here. And with your eyes closed, do you notice any difference between the right forearm and the left forearm and just the arm in general? For me, I notice a lot more space on this right forearm than the left one. And then I'm going to roll over to my left-hand side. Come on up. I'm going to switch to the other side. I'm going to add more shiebata to actually this right forearm. Okay. And then remember the toes. Okay. And I'm going to relax this right hand. So I'm not going to try to create tension in my, I'm going to back up just a little bit for that camera. And I'm trying to relax my right shoulder. I'm actually using my butt to propel my upper body and my right arm into this left forearm. And then to get these fibers moving, remember, and to get blood flowing, lymph, all the rest, and the connective tissue and muscular tissue to move, I'm kind of moving the hand. The first stroke is a diagnostic stroke, meaning, and it's kind of superficial, I'm not going so hard, and just to feel where are the spots that on the second run I want to concentrate more on. Ooh, yeah. Now, you might notice I just noticed some electricity there. That's the brachial plexus, and I'll put a picture up here of the brachial plexus. Brachia means arm, brachial, and plexus means web. This is a cape kind of nerves that starts in the cervical spine, goes all the way down the shoulder, upper arm, forearm, all the way down to the hand. Oh, yeah. There's a spot. I just jumped over it, so I'm going to go back into it. I'm going to close my eyes and let my left forearm fall into the floor and melt. Yeah. Oh, that feels good. Man. Okay, I'm jumping over that spot. And again, I'm going slower than a snail. And again, yeah, there we go. Now I'm just gonna relax my hand, mainly because I'm impinging upon it. I can't even move my left hand now anymore. There's another spot. I'm gonna breathe into that, especially use my exhale. I'm relaxing my forehead because I noticed my forehead was tense. And then, ooh, yeah. Whoopee! Whoopee! Oh, man, there's the spot. Wow. Okay. I'm gonna come onto my back again, move my pelvis there, and just rest here. Take a few breaths. Now I'm feeling my left forearm, and I notice a lot more space, some tingliness. And after this is done, I'm going to spend more time on my left forearm. What about you? Which forearm do you want to spend more time with? Okay, stay on your backs. I'm going to come a little bit closer to the camera, and we're going to go into some abdominal core work. Especially, we're going to target the lower abs. Be super mindful and careful when you do this next position, especially men out there, because men are more likely to have a hernia, inguinal hernia, here than women. So I just want you to be really careful, like what I said, and anytime you feel kind of weird, wonky pain, stop. This is not meant for everybody. So I'm going to bring my arms out to the side just to help stabilize. And then I'm going to bring one leg up and then another leg up into a tabletop. Now, there's a reason why I brought up my shirt, mainly because I want you to see my pelvis in anterior tilt, meaning there's a gap between my lower back and the floor, and then posterior tilt. Now, hopefully my legs are in, these are 90 degrees here. Maybe they're a little bit ahead. That's okay, all right? And all we're going to do is practice just coming into an anterior tilt, posterior tilt, with the legs up in tabletop position here. Now, when you come into that posterior tilt, meaning you take away the gap between the floor and your lower back, there might be a tendency for you to tense the neck. That's completely understandable because your abdominal region is connected to your throat. The core is more than just the abdominal region. It starts at the bottom of the foot, goes all the way up to the jaw. And so when we affect the abdominal region, we're also pulling on the neck and all those associated deep front muscles of the neck. This is all we're doing. Anterior tilt, posterior tilt. Now let's bring the breath into it. So inhale, Let the belly come up towards the ceiling, and then exhale, squeeze that belly circumferentially. Inhale, let the belly come up. Exhale, squeeze circumferentially. Meaning when I say circumferentially, if this is the first time you've watched my videos here, we're squeezing our abdominal region like a balloon in a 360-degree manner. Couple more. And then exhale. Yeah. Okay, now drop one leg, then the other. And let's keep the knees bent and feel your abdominal region. Now, I noticed I was tensing my pelvic floor a little bit more than I usually do, which is a lot. And I'm just going to relax that area. And then we're going to add a second variation to this. It's a little bit more challenging. If you feel the second variation is more challenging than the first one, go back to the first one because it's more elemental, basic, and safer. I'm going to bring both legs up into a tabletop, but I'm going to widen my legs about hip width. And I'll show you from here so you can see my hips are this wide. But if you feel comfortable with the legs together, please keep them together. So with this one, watch, I'm going to let my knees go ahead of my buttocks, and I'm going to bring my pelvis into this anterior tilt, and then watch, my posterior tilt, sucking in my belly and squeezing in circumferentially, is going to bring my knees back ahead of my butt cheeks. So the pelvis is directing the position of my upper and lower legs. So I inhale, let the knees go past. If there's a line drawn from my butt all the way up to the ceiling, I'm letting my knees go past that line. And then bring the knees towards my head and past that line. Inhale up, exhale, squeeze in. So we're targeting the lower abdominal region. But again, like I'm going to emphasize it again for you guys out there, even women, if you feel wonkiness, because we're actually squeezing the bladder, the colon, the descending colon, and the ascending colon, and right connecting the bowel to the anus and the uterus for you ladies out there. So be mindful and careful there. It's way more challenging. But I love this one because it not only strengthens the lower abdominal region, but also the back and the SI joints and the pelvic area. Inhale up. Exhale, squeeze in. If you feel more comfortable placing the hands around your abdominal region to tell the brain that this is working and happening, please do. Let's do two more. Okay, drop one leg, then the other. Let's straighten both legs this time and relax here. And can you let the whole pelvis and the legs just drop into the floor? And for me, I especially feel my lower abdominal region near my pubic bone. I feel the heads of my femurs as they go into my hip socket, the acetabulum, but as I like to call it, the acetabulum. And let that fall. Okay. Keep lying on your back. But if you want to come up and sit and watch me, so I'm going to turn this way so you can see my legs. Now I'm going to take that back. I'm going to come up to show you this side view, then I'll turn. Sorry about that. I'm going to bring my arms up out to the side again. I'm going to bring one leg up and another leg up into a tabletop, what we just did. Okay, see that? Then I'm going to turn this way so you can see my legs and how this unfolds. So I'm going to bring this up. I just want to make sure that I'm in frame. My head is in frame. Yes, got it. I'm the director and producer here now. So I'm going to keep my knees together and I'm going to actively bring my legs to my left. We've done this one before. This is the oblique strengthener, the obliques here. And then pretend there's a string bringing these knees back. So my right abdominal region are bringing these knees back to center. Then I actively bring my knees to my right, and now I'm actively pulling with my left abdominal region my knees back to center. And that's all we're doing. Now, my feet and my knees are staying in one line. So my right obliques on the exhale. Inhale when you come back to the center. Exhale, left obliques. Inhale. Right obliques. Inhale. Left obliques. Inhale. Right obliques. Inhale. Left obliques. Inhale. Right obliques. Did I just say right obliques again? Sorry. Left obliques, bring them back on the exhale. Inhale. Right obliques, bring them back. Inhale. Left obliques, bring them back. Inhale. Right obliques, bring them back. Inhale. Left obliques, bring them back. Exhale, right obliques, bring them back. Let's do one more on each side. Inhale. Left obliques, bring them back. Right obliques, bring them back. Yeah, drop one foot, then the other. Let's line our backs. That's a quick one, but I love that one, the oblique strengtheners. That's one area of the abdominal region that we tend to forget. But if we can provide that support for the lower back from the sides, strong back, folks. Strong back. And now let your whole abdominal region and your pelvic region fall into the floor. And let's just rest here. Take a few breaths there. Okay, let's bend our right knees, bring our left arm next to our left ear, roll on over to your left-hand side. We're going to come on up and again, finish with extension. I don't know if you noticed, but it's a kind of a theme with me. Last week, we came into the squatting back bend and we added side flexion and rotation. We're going to do the same thing, except we're going to bring the arms up to the side. So we're going to offer no support. Although there really wasn't any support with our arms are just there to help us open the chest. But at any time you feel with these arms up to the side, you feel unsafe and you want to place your hands right there, please do. Anywho, we're going to have our feet in line with our knees here, right? If you can see from that angle. And then I'm going to show you my lower back. Now I'm going to find neutral for my, let me come in center of camera there, the center of frame there. I'm going to find a neutral for my pelvis. So for me, I'm already in kind of an anterior tilt. Maybe you're already in a posterior tilt. So find the end range of both of those. So we've got anterior tilt, we got posterior tilt. I'm going to find the middle ground right there. I'm going to place both hands right under my booty because I've got spider monkey arms. And then pretend there are two pieces of bread here. And your upper body and your head is the meat. Spam, if you will. Spam's wonderful, isn't it? And we're going to lengthen upward. I'm going to keep my butt and my quads tight. I'm going to engage my abdominal region circumferentially. And then I'm going to tuck my chin under to engage the muscles in the front of my neck to keep my head in a neutral position. And we're just going to stay here for a second. Here's the warm-up. We're not going to bring the arms up yet. And we're just going to stay for a few breaths, just as a warm-up here, like what I just said. Sorry, I keep repeating myself. I'm going to let my shoulders relax as I push my chest up. And when I inhale, my chest comes upward. And then when I exhale, I'm pushing my chest forward. Inhale up, exhale my chest forward. Inhale up, exhale my chest forward. Okay, let's come on back. We're going to come sit on our heels and just rest here for a tick. You can turn your palms upward if you'd like. And just feel the sensations running through your lower back and your abdominal region, and your chest, and your rib cage, the back of the rib cage. And then we're going to come up, and I'm going to face this way so you can see the side flexion and the rotation. Placing the palms back on the butt if you'd like, or it depends on how long your arms are. Hopefully my feet are in line with my knees. I'm going to widen my knees a little bit. I'm going to lengthen upward, come into that back bend, bring the arms up, and then watch, side flexion. And then side flexion to the right. We're not going that far. We're in the back bend, but we're decreasing the distance now between the right rib cage and the left, and the right pelvis, and then left rib cage, left pelvis. And I'm keeping that butt and those quads tight. I just notice it, and I just push it forward. And let me show you from the side here so you can see. My spine is in the similar position of what we just did for that warm-up. And we're just engaging in this coronal movement. Side flexion. Let's do a couple more. Keeping that butt tight. And again, your range of side flexion may be different than mine. Now, my shoulders, I'm trying to relax my shoulders a little bit. My arms are here. It's kind of like an airplane. Okay, come on back. Let's come sit again. That's the second round. Let's rest here. Close your eyes if you want to turn the palms upward. If your knees are hurting because you can't squat, lie on your back. Take a few breaths there. Relax your gut. Can you just let your belly kind of flop out? Okay, let's come up again. Rotation. We're placing the palms here first under the butt. I'm going to lengthen upward. I'm going to bring my arms up to the side. And then I'm rotating to the right, my rib cage. And I'm rotating my rib cage to the left. Keeping that butt tight and those quads tight. To the right. To the left. To the right. Letting the shoulders drop, relaxing the shoulders. To the left. To the right. To the left. This is much easier, I feel, than the side flexion. But what about you? Do you find this more challenging? Maybe there's some wonky spots. Maybe when you go to the left, there's a little bit of tension there. Then that means maybe there's some compression that needs to be addressed. Or maybe the joints of the vertebrae in your lower back are open there or too closed. And I'm not rotating from the arms, I'm rotating from the rib cage, but I'm opening that chest. And let me slow down, I'm going too quickly. Let's do one more rotation. Okay, let's come on back to neutral. Let's lie on our backs. We're all done for the day. Let's lie here. Oh yeah, and I feel that back activated. And now I'm going to let my lower back fall into the floor, and then my butt, and then my legs, and then my rib cage, and then my shoulders, and then my arms, and then my neck, and then my head, and then my jaw, and then my eyes. And keep falling, folks. See you next week.